shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, and then shall the end come.
Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?
Here's today's prophecy update. Palestinian leadership has announced that it will submit to the UN Security Council a resolution condemning Israeli settlements. Israel is counting on the United States to veto the resolution as it has done previously. However, the Palestinians are hoping that President Obama will either vote for the resolution or abstain from voting, allowing the resolution to become international law. Obama has repeatedly condemned the settlements, but has said the issue should be settled by negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians, not by the UN or the international community. If a resolution declaring the West Bank settlements illegal were passed, Israel would find herself in violation of international law and exposed to possible sanctions from the entire international community, a position Israel wants to avoid. Because of the festering animosity between Israel and President Obama, many think Obama may be willing to express his disapproval of Israel by refraining from using the American veto to protect her. It would be the ultimate slap in the face if President Obama decided to deliver such a blow to Israel during this lame duck time of his presidency. Oh, by the way, the Bible tells us how all this is going to turn out. Well, interesting things happening right now, and I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. We want to start the program today with a very important announcement. We have a new series called From Here to Armageddon. We're going to be teaching this series at the End Time headquarters. It will begin this Thursday, December the 1st at 7 p.m. The location is 2701 George Bush Highway in Plano, Texas. You'll use the east entrance to come in. Now, for more information, simply send an email to drobbins@endtime.com. Dave Robbins is my son-in-law, and he will be conducting the class. I will be doing the teaching, but he will be conducting the class. So I'm telling you, this wonderful course, From Here to Armageddon, you will understand the road ahead of us so clear. If you're confused about Bible prophecy and how events are going to unfold between now and the Battle of Armageddon, and remember, it's at Armageddon that Jesus Christ will return to this earth and establish his kingdom upon the earth. So this course, From Here to Armageddon, is available to you. There's no charge to attend. It will be this coming Thursday evening, 7 p.m., right here at the End Time headquarters, 2701 East President George Bush Highway, and all of you are invited. Now, if you'd like more information, as a matter of fact, I encourage you just to let Dave know that you're coming. Send an email to drobbins@endtime.com. drobbins@endtime.com. I know you'll be glad that you did because, well, I don't know when I've ever been more excited about something produced by End Time Ministries. You're going to see a timeline, and everybody that sees this timeline is just drawn to it because it starts from where we are today and ends at the Battle of Armageddon. As a matter of fact, it even extends into the millennium a little bit. But you're going to see in detail and in proper order the major events that the Bible prophesies will happen on this earth, and they're events that are going to affect every single one of us. So I highly recommend to you, be a part of this class. I know you'll enjoy it. We've been having classes here at the End Time headquarters for the last, well, at least 4 years. And so many people attend, and they've been so blessed by it. So anyway, make sure you send to drobbins@endtime.com. Let him know you're coming this coming Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and it will be 8 lessons. Now, I'm sure they'll be taking off a week for the Christmas time, but nevertheless, it'll be a total of 8 lessons, and you're going to enjoy it so tremendously, and I hope you'll become a part of that. Okay, I want to talk today about Russia's destiny. I don't know whether you've been watching what's happening with Russia or not, but a Russian influence is surging in our world right now. And as I was thinking about this today, I began to analyze, what is Russia's destiny? You know, we have a lesson out called America's God-given destiny. Well, according to the prophecies of the Bible, Russia also has a destiny. In Daniel chapter number 7, we know that there is a prophecy given, one of the greatest prophecies in the entire Bible, naming the nations that will be prominent in our world at the time of the second coming of Jesus to the earth. Russia is one of those nations. Great Britain is there. The United States is there. Verse number 5 talks about Russia. It says, after this, I saw a bear. It raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and a voice said to it, arise, devour much flesh. Well, Russia's in process of devouring a lot of nations right now. So Daniel 7:5 prophesies that Russia is going to be a dominant force just before the second coming of Jesus to the earth. That's happening right now. However, there's another prophecy about Russia in the New Testament. This prophecy written about 650 years after Daniel 7, but using the same symbols. However, the symbols are used in a different way. Now remember, in Daniel 7, you got a lion representing Great Britain, the eagle representing the United States, the bear representing Russia, the leopard representing Germany, and then a 10-horned beast representing a 10-nation alliance that will soon emerge out of Europe. Now, when you move from Daniel 7 to Revelation chapter 13, verse 1 and 2, the same symbols are used, but in a different way, teaching us what's coming. In Daniel 13, it says, I saw one beast rising up out of the sea, and this one beast has 7 heads, 10 horns, had the body of the leopard, the feet of the bear, the mouth of the lion, and the 10 horns of the 10-horn kingdom. So the beast in Revelation 13 is an amalgamation, a union of all of the beasts of Daniel 7. Now the beasts in Daniel 7 represent nations. The single beasts in Revelation 13 represent a world government formed by these different nations, the New World Order. And it's formed by the present process we're going through called globalization. But notice that Russia is an integral part of this end-time one world government, and it is going to be a part of the kingdom of the Antichrist. Now we're talking about Russia's destiny here. Furthermore, the Bible teaches that Russia will lead the invasion of Israel during the Battle of Armageddon. And the Bible tells us that God will be very angry at Russia, and all but 1/6 of Russia will be wiped out during the Battle of Armageddon. I don't know that we've ever read this particular prophecy on the air before. It's Ezekiel chapter number 39, verse 1 through 4. I want you to hear it. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, Gog is the name used for Russia in this prophecy, and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Now let's stop right there, because you may be asking, how do you know that Gog is the name used for Russia? Because it talks about Meshech. If you look up Meshech in an unabridged dictionary, it'll tell you it's the root word for Muscovy or Moscow. Now, think about this. The word Meshech is used way back in chapter 38, the first few verses. Well, here it is again. And it's talking about Meshech, which you could say is Moscow. Furthermore, there's a Tobol River in Russia, and there's a city called Tobolsk. So there are several ways that we know that this is referring to Russia. And so the Lord says, I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee. There's the prophecy. I'm only going to leave a sixth part of you. And I will cause thee to come up from the north parts, Russia's north of Israel, and I will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. This is prophesying the invasion of Israel at the time of the battle of Armageddon. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beast of the field to be devoured. This same terminology is used in several places prophesying about the Battle of Armageddon. It calls the Battle of Armageddon the great supper of our God. And it says that the beast of the field and the fowls of the air will be called together to eat the flesh of kings, captains, and mighty men. Well, here, that's what the Lord is saying concerning Russia. That is what is going to happen. So Russia has a destiny. It's not a good destiny. It is going to be a destiny of horrible judgment. I'm talking about all but 1/6 of Russia is going to be destroyed. Now, I do not know the present population of Russia. I think it's around 80 million. Well, take 1/6 of 80 million. What would you have? 15 or so million? That means only 15 million of Russia would be left. If this is referring to the entire nation of Russia, not just the army of Russia, if it's referring to the entire nation, that means that Russia would go from 80 million to 15 million. I'm talking about Russia's destiny according to Bible prophecy. So with that in mind, knowing what is coming, and don't forget, the prophecies never fail. They always come to pass. It's God's word, it's infallible. So the question then arises in our mind, what is Russia doing at this present time? Is Russia moving toward her destiny right now? Russia is presently expanding its influence globally. We've watched it all during this Arab so-called spring. We watched Russia, first of all, move in and take Crimea and annex Crimea. Then Russia supported the move against the Ukraine because Vladimir Putin has made no bones about it. He wants the Soviet Union to be reconstructed. He has said one of the worst things that happened in the 20th century was the dissolution of the Soviet Union. He says it was wrong and it should be reconstructed. So he would like to retake the Ukraine. He also is threatening the Baltic nations right now, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. Then in addition to that, Russia took the advantage of the war in Syria, and he moved in to prop up the regime of Bashar al-Assad because Syria is the traditional ally of Russia. Now, over the last 50 years, Russia has been the military supplier and the protector of the Arab nations in the Middle East, and America has been the supplier and protector of Israel in the Middle East. So we've been aligned one against the other. Russia at one point had many troops in Syria, and right now they have a naval base in Latakia. They also now have established an air base north of Latakia, both on the Mediterranean Sea. Furthermore, Russia has its missiles in Syria right now and is playing a huge role in the war against ISIS and in the war against the rebels concerning the possession of Aleppo, Syria's largest city. Furthermore, Russia is fighting against ISIS up and down the Euphrates River right now. Now, the latest development is Russia is moving, well, first of all, has been very much aligned with Iran, and Iran sits right in the middle of the Middle East. Iran is a very powerful oil power, and Iran has been an ally of Russia. Russia is supplying the nuclear materials that Iran threatens the world with. Well, then the latest breaking news is Libya now is falling under the influence of Russia. I want to give you this information because you need to understand what's going on. Most people don't realize it, but Libya has some of the finest oil in the world. They call it sweet crude because it requires very little refinement. Muammar Gaddafi had control of this oil. He ruled over Libya. However, he decided to sell his oil in gold. And that's when he crossed the line. America then sought to remove him as the leader of Libya, went to the UN Security Council, got the Security Council to pass a resolution against Muammar Gaddafi, and then swooped in and removed him from power. Ultimately, he was killed in battle. Well, America went in, did its dirty work, and then left. And then all of a sudden, ISIS converged on Libya and said, we'd like to control that oil, and we'd like to expand our power. So they did. Now then, Russia sees an opportunity to use ISIS as an excuse to go in to try to take possession of the oil wealth of Libya. Furthermore, they now want to establish a military base in Libya. Now let's get this picture. You've got a naval base in Syria just up above Israel. You have now an air base in Syria a little bit further to the north. So you're on the east end of the Mediterranean Sea. Now then, go over south and to the west to Libya, and there you can see where they're wanting to establish another military base, which would leave them only 700 kilometers from Europe. 700 kilometers is only 400 miles. What's 400 miles for a jet fighter? It's almost nothing. So Russia is positioning itself, whether it's, you're talking about Iran, the Crimea, you talk about Syria, you talk about the many different strategic positions. And now in Libya, Russia would love to be there. I've got an article that I want to read to you, but before I do, let me remind you once again, because this is an important announcement. There's going to be a class beginning right here at our End Time headquarters. The location here is 2701 East President Bush Highway in Plano, Texas. We're just 1 mile east of 75 Highway. And we're going to be having every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock our new series From Here to Armageddon. My son-in-law, Dave Robbins, is going to be leading the series. I'll be doing the teaching. And you will be able to experience From Here to Armageddon. One thing I love about this is that earlier this year, it's like the Lord sort of prodded my mind a little bit. Because, we've always taught the end time events as, look what Satan's going to do. The mark of the beast, the great tribulation, the Antichrist, the false prophet, and all of these things that are coming. And it seemed like the Lord spoke to me earlier this year and said, you're thinking all wrong. Satan didn't plan all of this. I planned all of this. And I got to thinking, Lord, why did you plan it? And it became obvious to me that God planned the events between here and Armageddon to create things that would motivate toward great revival. I mean, doesn't it seem reasonable that God would close out the church age in a crescendo of victory and revival? I mean, the church age started with the greatest revival the world has ever seen. I believe that I can prove to you that we're going to see the greatest revival the world has ever seen between now and the Battle of Armageddon. So not only do we tell you in this course everything that's going to happen between here and Armageddon, but we explain how each major event is going to become a tool in the hands of the end time church to foment great revival, to produce great faith, to accelerate the consciousness of God. Well, that's not all I'm going to tell you. All I can say is attend this course. You're going to love it. The number to call, if you need to call us, you can call 1-800-END-TIME and ask to speak to Dave Robbins. But it would be better if you would just drop him an email and let him send you additional information. His email address is drobbins, that's DROBBINS, at endtime, ENDTIME.com. And I think if you get in this course, it's 8 weeks, but of course we'll break a week for the Christmas time, the holidays. But nevertheless, you're going to love this course, and it is going to add something. If you've been through the Understanding the End Time series, then this is another step for you. I would capitalize on this. I would attend this course, and I'm sure that many of you will. Okay, that's this Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Enter the east entrance. It's toward the front of the building. We're right on George Bush Turnpike. You'll come on the service road. We're right, we're west. No, we're east of the Homewood Suites right there. Just come in the east entrance, and there you'll see all the direction that you need to attend this. The classes will take about an hour and 15 minutes or so, but you're going to be greatly, greatly blessed from here to Armageddon. And it's in Armageddon that the second coming of Jesus Christ will appear. You'll understand the timing of the rapture like you've never understood it before. Can you tell I'm excited about it? While I'm talking, I have the brand new End Time magazine in my hand right now. And the feature story in this magazine is, here's your sign. In Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, we were given a prophecy. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. God has given the human race an unprecedented, unrepeated sign, a one-time sign. I wrote an article about it. I really enjoyed writing this article. It's called Here's Your Sign. And I think you're going to really love reading that article. Many other wonderful things in the End Time magazine. As usual, if you're not a subscriber, pick up the phone, subscribe right now, 1-800-END-TIME. It's your Christmas gift. It's for 2 years. It's only $29. Pick up the phone, call us, subscribe today, and this will be the first magazine that you get. You're really going to enjoy it, not just this magazine, but every edition. We're going to come out with in-depth articles that will mean so much to you. So if you're not a subscriber to End Time magazine, well, don't fail to do it. Okay, now, let me give you a little bit before we reach the end of our first half hour today. This article comes from Deb Kafile. It came out just today. New Putin move to win a military base in Libya. Libyan General Khalifa Haftar arrived in Moscow Sunday, November the 26th, with a request for Russian arms and military support for his army. He was welcomed in Moscow, which saw an opening for Russia to gain its first military base in North Africa. According to Deb Kafile's military and intelligence sources, President Vladimir Putin began to envision a second Mediterranean base on the coast of Benghazi, twin to Hamimim in Syria's Latakia. This one would accommodate Russian naval as well as air units and would be located 700 kilometers, which is about 400 and some miles from Europe. The U.S.-born Haftar, a general in the army of the late Muammar Gaddafi, he worked under Gaddafi, carries the title of Supreme Commander of the Libyan Army. However, Libya is today riddled with hundreds of militias vying for control. Haftar heads a powerful group that was once backed by the United States, but since refusing to recognize the government established by the UN in Tripoli, he relies mainly on the support of Egypt and some of the Gulf Emirates for his eastern Libyan Benghazi stronghold. The concluding paragraph of this article: the battles ongoing along the Mediterranean coast this week among the various militias, including Haftar's army, are in fact a tug of war for control of Libya's oil fields. Libya's oil riches are certainly not absent from Putin's calculations. Moscow's assistance in helping his Libyan visitor gain the upper hand in this struggle could augur the first Russian stake in the Libyan oil industry. So when you look for battles, you always look for oil because it's never far under the surface. That's what's happening right now. Now, as we reach the conclusion of this program, I want to remind all of you that we'd love for you to be a partner with End Time Ministries. The number to call to be a partner is 1-800-END-TIME. We're getting ready to enter a new year. We need to start it out right. We've got big things to do for Jesus Christ. We're racing the rapture. If you're not yet a partner, why not now? The number to call, 1-800-END-TIME. Just tell the operators what you'd like to do. That's 1-800-END-TIME.
From Here to Armageddon, a new exciting 8-lesson series to share with your friends and family. Order yours right away.
Answering many questions like how far are we from the Battle of Armageddon? What will happen between now and then? Where are we on the timeline? Your questions answered in this exciting 8-lesson series, From Here to Armageddon.
Go to endtime.com or call 1-800-END-TIME. That's 1-800-END-TIME, 1-800-363-8463. Order yours right away.
Most people have dreamed of someday walking on the ground where Jesus walked over 2,000 years ago. You don't want to wait any longer. Make this the year for your life-changing experience. Judy and I would like to invite you to join us for our 2017 Spring End Time Prophecy Tour. This is a 14-day trip to Israel and Rome. Please join us to experience the greatest place on earth, the Promised Land, with an added bonus, Rome, Italy. Start making your plans right now and join us April 30th through May 13th of 2017. We're going to have a wonderful time.
Call now to reserve your place today at 1-800-END-TIME. That's 1-800-363-8463 or go to endtime.com.
If your station only carries the first 30 minutes of End of the Age, go to endtime.com and click the watch button to continue today's broadcast. You can also finish up later by clicking the archives button.
We are taking your calls in this half of our program. The number to call to be on the air with me, 877-END-TIME. That's 877-363-8463. And there's open lines right now, so this is your chance to jump in. I'm sure there's a lot on your mind over the Thanksgiving holidays, during all the festivities. I'm sure that there were things that occurred and you're wondering about what in the world is going on. Well, let me tell you, everything that's happening right now is fitting perfectly into the prophecies of the Bible. Oh, by the way, concerning our trip in the spring to Israel and to Rome, do you realize we will be visiting the two most prophesied cities on earth, Jerusalem and Rome. We will be explaining as we go through all the importance of all these things. You get a full trip to Israel plus Rome. Now, yes, it's 14 days, therefore it's a little more expensive than the normal tour, but don't let that stop you because it's not that much more. I mean, after all, you've already paid for the plane ticket over and back. It's just a few more nights hotel and a few more days eats, but it's still going to be a wonderful value. You say, why are you going to Rome this year? Well, there's a specific reason. This marks the 500th anniversary of Martin Luther nailing the 95 Theses to the door of the church at Wittenberg, Germany. Now then, the Pope is working to say this is the 500th year anniversary. It's time for the protests to be over. And many Christian religious leaders are agreeing with him. Many of them are planning on going to Rome to sign a statement of unity of faith and purpose with the Roman Catholic Church, with the Pope. That's the reason we've chosen to go this year. No, I'm not going to sign the statement of unity because I do not believe the same as the Pope believes. Nevertheless, we will be explaining on this tour why this is so incredibly important at this particular time, because the Bible prophesies that most Christians, both Catholic and Protestant, are going to merge together in the one world religion of the end time, and they're going to form an alliance with the Antichrist. That's what we're watching now, and that's what we will be talking about as we see the amazing things in Rome. Now, Rome's not my favorite place on earth, but I do like to go there because you understand things about the Bible from Rome that you will not understand any place else. We will be showing you there are 2 entire chapters devoted just to Rome in the end time. 2 entire chapters in the book of Revelation. We will be explaining those 2 chapters on this tour. So right now is the time to make your decision. You'll have time to make your financial arrangements. The number to call to get more information, 1-800-END-TIME. Ask to speak to someone about the tour. I'm telling you, it is going to be, all of our tours have just been incredible. The tour we just finished, wow. It was tremendous. Such wonderful people on the tour. Everyone was so congenial, so mannerly, so nice. And baptism in the Jordan River, I think I baptized 53 people in the Jordan River. What a touch of God, what a wonderful presence of the Lord engulfed us there. When I say trip of a lifetime, I am not exaggerating. Anyway, if you can go, make your plans right now. Don't miss it. It's April the 30th through May, the 13th, I think. That's the approximate date. For more information, call us 800-END-TIME. We are taking your calls on the program today. 877-END-TIME is the number. And Amin is calling from Germany. Hello, Amin. Welcome. Are you with me, Amin? Okay, I'm not hearing a thing from Amin. Maybe our technicians have got to figure out.
Mr. Baxter, do you hear me? Sorry, I have muted. Sorry.
Okay, there you are.
Yes, let me ask you a question. I'm very interested. It's very interesting for me, your answer. So you said that Libya, because Libya decided to sell their oil with gold, the U.S. was not so happy and they made a resolution and attack Libya or something like that. So my question is, what about Iran? Because Iran has decided to sell the oil only in euro, not in dollar. So what do you think, will something like that happen too? Is this a reason so that they do something like in Libya? That's my question. I hang off, and thank you very much. God bless you and love you. Bye-bye.
Good question. I mean, thank you for that question. It's important to understand how vital it is for the dollar to be the reserve currency of the world. We have enjoyed this special position at least since World War II and possibly some before. Now, what that means is there's a huge demand for our dollars. And since everybody wants our dollars, it becomes a very advantageous thing to us economically. Well, there's a lot of tendency right now for nations to move away from the dollar because it is a means for America controlling the international economy. And like Amin mentioned, Iran also has started selling their oil in euros. Now, if there was a move away from the dollar, it could be a important enough development that America would go to war to stop it. Now, I don't want us to go to war. However, if America's privileged position as the provider of the world's reserve currency, if it were threatened, I cannot promise you that America would not go out there to wipe out that threat against us. Many people believe that's the reason that Barack Obama moved against Muammar Gaddafi and in Libya, because he had made a decision to sell Libya's oil in gold and not in dollars. Well, now that Iran is making that same move, China is trying to move to become a reserve currency of the world. So there's a lot of struggle over this position of the preeminent economic power on earth. And that's the reason that this situation is so absolutely volatile. If we lost our position as the reserve currency, the demand for our dollar would go flat. I mean, it would nosedive, and it would have a dramatic impact on the U.S. economy. So that's the reason that it's so important. And as Amin pointed out, Iran, I think, has announced that they're also going to sell their oil in euros instead of dollars. And so all this is very much of a threat. Now China has applied to become a reserve currency, and they're all vying to replace the United States of America as the preeminent economic power on earth. That's the reason it's so important. Thank you very much, Amin. And let's go now to Ida calling from Illinois. Hello, Ida.
Hello. I just wanted to ask a question about the Israel people.
Okay.
Israelite people. I'm waking up to the fact that actually the so-called Negroes and African Americans are the true people, and I'm wondering why I don't hear a lot of teachers teaching about that. That those are not the true people over there. That they are Ashkenazi Jews.
Ida, there are a lot of Jews that are going from Africa, those that are of Jewish origin, and they are going from Africa to Israel. I go to Israel twice a year now, and I see many of them there. They now are in the Israeli army. You'll see them on the streets. It's commonplace. So you're absolutely right. There are many Jews in South Africa. They claim Jewish heritage.
No, I'm talking about the ones over here in the United States. I'm talking about the so-called African Americans. You know, we don't have a lineage, but our lineage is truly the lost tribe of Israel.
Okay, now, Ida, I don't know about that, whether that has been proven or not.
Well, it's proven because as I read in my word, and God is beginning to deal with me, He's waking me up to that fact that that we were hidden, that we were lost, and now He's waking us up to take us back into the land, that we are the true people of that land, and that those are Ashkenazi Jews. Because, as you know, in Revelation 2 and 9, it says, I know those who say they are Jews and are not. So I'm learning that it was hidden from us, and because of what we did to Yah, that, we were blinded, but now we are being woken up.
Well, I can't really speak to that, Ida, because I haven't done the research to see if there's proof that African Americans here in America are in fact Jewish. I will tell you this. Let me talk just a moment, Ida. I will tell you this though. The Bible teaches that all of us have access to becoming Jewish, and we are more Jewish than if our physical ancestry says we are. The Bible says true Jews are those who have the faith of Abraham, not those that has the physical lineage of Abraham. When you have physical lineage, that lineage is only until you die. But spiritual lineage, when you have the faith of Abraham, that's eternal. So whether a person can prove that they are physically a Jew or not, all of us are the true Jews who are born again, and we become, through Jesus Christ, the descendants of Abraham, and we become truly Jewish.
I understand what you're saying, but we both believe in the Word of God. So when the Word of God, when it talks about in the end days, he said that he was going to send his angel to the four wings of the world to gather his children out. That has not yet happened. So therefore, he's taking us back into our land. And yes, he does care about the physical. So the physical people who are his, because see, out of all the people of the nations of the world, we are the only one that do not know who we are. So it's important, and it's important to Yah. Mm-hmm. So we're going back into the land. And that's what the Bible says.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I would have
thank
to,
you.
If you get more information, and if there are studies that trace.
Because I listen to you all the time. I've been listening to you for like maybe 4 years now, 5 years. Every time you come on, I listen to you. I listen to programs on the radio, and I just wanted to ask that question.
Well, thank you very much. And like I say, I can't prove one way or the other. I do know that there are several nations in Africa that have traced their lineage back to being Jewish, and many of them are moving there to Israel right now. So I can't speak for all of Africa. I don't know whether that applies to them being physical Jews or not, but I do speak for everybody, and that is that all of us can become Jewish by being born again. And that's what the Bible says when it talks about those that say they are Jews and are not. They're only Jews in physical lineage, not in spiritual reality. I believe that's what that is talking about. But I appreciate your phone call, Ida, very much. Interesting question. Now, to be on the air with me, we do have open line today. To be on the air with me, 877-END-TIME is the number to call. That's 877-363-8463. And let me say to all of you out there, we have a new course called From Here to Armageddon. Now, I know that course is going to be offered here at our End Time studios starting this coming Thursday night. Some of you live too far away and you can't come here, but you can purchase the course. If you'll just call us at 1-800-END-TIME.
From Here to Armageddon, a new exciting
If you'll just call us right here at 1-800-END-TIME, you can get your own copy of From Here to Armageddon, 8 lessons on beautiful DVD. You'll love it. You'll be so interested in it. So anyway, again, to be on the air with me, 877-END-TIME. To reach our operators, 800-END-TIME. We have one more segment. We're going to be taking more of your calls in the next segment of this program.
If ever people need to hear the unvarnished truth, it is now. There are some subjects that are not politically correct to talk about, but they're urgent. That's why I'm grateful for End Time Magazine. If you're not a subscriber, you're missing information that will really impact your life. End Time has a bi-monthly magazine that explains how current events are fulfilling Bible prophecy. You can get a 2-year subscription for only $29. You can also get a bulk subscription and pass them out to your church. We have gotten reports that End Time Magazine has caused spiritual awakenings in churches when they see the prophecies being fulfilled right now. You can start your own ministry and leave them in doctors' offices, libraries, laundromats. You never know if you might be responsible for saving someone who is searching for the unvarnished truth. That's what the magazine did in my life. Call 1-800-363-8463. That's 1-800-END-TIME and get your subscription today.
I'm asked many times about the possibility of donating stocks or other financial securities to End Time Ministries. And yes, that would be so helpful to End Time. Many of you have done that, and it has been a great blessing. It's helped us to stay on the air. It's helped us to continue to do what we do. And furthermore, it can help you. Because if you buy a stock for $100 and you sell it for $2,000, you get quite a profit there. And sometimes those profits will throw you into a tax bracket that you don't want to be into. We're thinking taxes here at the end of the year. But if you donate that to End Time Ministries, you get credit for a donation for the entire value of it now, not what you paid for it. And that goes to End Time Ministries, and then you get the deduction for that entire donation, and you're charged no tax on it. So you don't have to declare it as income, you simply declare it as a donation. So you can take that, and sometimes it may be $10,000, $20,000. And maybe you're just over the bracket and you're going to throw yourself into a very high tax bracket, and you don't want to do that. Well, an excellent way to head that off, and you can do it between now and the end of the year, is to donate that stock or that bond to End Time Ministries. And what a blessing it is to us. It enables us to carry the mission forward to reach this world, and it also is a blessing to you. So if you'd like to do that, call us at 1-800-END-TIME. Ask to speak to my daughter, Jana. She's the one that knows about those things, that handles those particular transactions. And if you could do that, wow, what a blessing it would be, especially here at the end of the year. And all of you out there, I know a lot of people do a lot of end of the year giving. Maybe you just want to make a donation. Again, maybe you want to pull maybe you're $1,000 into the wrong bracket, and so you have to pay all that tax on all that money. And if you'll just make a donation, you can pull yourself down into that. It's better to give it to End Time Ministries than it is to Uncle Sam. Many times they just go partying or buying all kinds of vacations and everything else with it anyway. So anyway, if you'd like to do it, just call us 1-800-END-TIME and ask to speak to Jana Robbins, and Jana will talk to you about it. Appreciate all of you out there that are donating to End Time Ministries. Many of you on a monthly basis, you're faithfully supporting, whether it's $20 a month or $50 a month or $10 a month, whatever it is. We appreciate you so much, because you're the one that enables us to pay for the airtime. And believe me, it's expensive. But they have their bills, we have to pay those bills, and you're the ones that enable us to carry this message to the world that is so vital to the world right now. So thanks to all of you. If you're not yet a partner, really pray about it, consider becoming one. Matter of fact, don't pray about it. It's the right thing to do. Just call us, 1-800-END-TIME. Let's get right back to the phones now. Jimmy is calling from right here in Texas. Hello, Jimmy.
Yes.
What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I'm calling out. I was watching your program, and I was wondering if the United States was going to be part of the New World Order, and would we be subject to the New World Order in any way?
Good question, Jimmy. A lot of people have that question, and I've got good news for you. The United States is depicted in the Bible as the eagle. There in Daniel chapter number 7, it shows the eagle growing out of the lion's Great Britain. Where did America come from? Out of our mother country, Great Britain. And then in verse number 4 of Daniel 7, Daniel said, I watched until the eagle's wings were plucked, broken off. He saw the Declaration of Independence. You don't see the eagle again until the New Testament. In the New Testament, in the same passage I quoted about Russia earlier, there's this beast representing the end time one world government and the Antichrist. It has the body of the leopard, the feet of the bear, the mouth of the lion, the 10 horns of the 10-horn kingdom, but no eagle's wings. Why no eagle's wings? Well, if you'll go back one chapter to chapter number 13 in the book of Revelation, or chapter number 12 in the book of Revelation, there's a depiction of Satan trying to destroy Israel. Israel is depicted there as a woman with 12 stars about her head. The 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Israel. And Satan, during the final 3.5 years, is going to try to destroy Israel. But it says in verse number 14, but there will be given to the woman Israel 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she will be carried into her place where she's nourished from the face of the serpent for times, and half a time. That's for 3.5 years. So that shows the United States protecting Israel against the Antichrist all during the Great Tribulation period. So that's wonderful news for all of us. It appears that the United States is going to back out of the New World Order. Matter of fact, it looks like that's what just happened in this presidential election. Hillary Clinton was an avid proponent of one world government. That's the reason she didn't want any borders, any barriers, no walls built. She said we don't need to build walls, we need to build bridges. She is an avid advocate of the one world governmental system that they all were planning, that President Obama was planning, but now then Donald Trump comes along and says, no, we don't need to succumb to globalism. It'll mean the end of our sovereignty. We need to restore our borders. If we don't have borders, we don't have a country. We don't have a sovereign country. So it appears that the American people believe that and voted to retain national sovereignty and for us not to be a part of the one world government. And I was telling everybody, they were asking me what was going to happen. I said, well, the Bible definitely teaches the United States is not going to be a part of the government of the Antichrist. We are going to reverse ourselves and pull out of globalism. We will either do it now by electing Donald Trump, or else it will have to happen later, but it is going to happen. I did expect it to happen with Mr. Trump because I didn't see in the future, if we kept going, that it could be reversed. Well, it did happen to the surprise of many, many people. But it looks like to me this is fulfilling the prophecy of Revelation chapter number 12, that America is not going to be a part of the combo beast of Revelation 13, but America is going to defend Israel against the world community all the way through the Great Tribulation. So according to the Bible, we're not going to be a part of the kingdom of the Antichrist.
All right. Well, one other thing is about the mark of the beast. Is that going to be something that's going to be possibly something that the United States is going to have to, deal with?
The Bible does not specifically say, but it appears to me that we are not going to partake of the mark of the beast either. Why would we? Because the mark of the beast is when you pledge allegiance to the beast. And if America is fighting against the beast or the Antichrist, the world government, if we're fighting against it, why would we impose a pledge of allegiance to the Antichrist on our people? It looks like to me America is not going to be a part of the mark of the beast.
Oh, thank you so much, Brother Baxter. Jesus is so awesome. Thank you so much. You've answered my questions.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. And, it took a while for all this to gel in my mind as I was trying to figure out Revelation 13. Why are the eagle's wings not there? And then I see the eagle in Revelation 12 protecting Israel against the Antichrist and his one world government. And after a while, it became crystal clear to me where we're headed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what should that mean to us? Does that mean we say, well, let the world just go under the reign of the Antichrist? Should we not care about them? I think that's the wrong thing. I believe America needs to be a harbor of safety in the coming storm. There may be Christians and Jews from all over the world that have to have a place to run to, because the Bible talks about the Great Tribulation being a time of tribulation such as never been before, nor ever again shall be. It is going to be a horrible time for Christians and Jews that find themselves trapped in nations that are aligning themselves with the Antichrist. Europe is going to be one of the worst places to be, because that's going to be the power base of the Antichrist. So there's going to have to be a place for people to come to. I actually had one of our callers call this ministry on our open line and say, well, does that mean we should open our homes to Jews and to Christians? And I would say certainly so. And I know you out there. I know many of you. If you found Christians and Jews in trouble trying to get away from the Antichrist, many of you would be in a heartbeat ready to open your homes to the best of your ability to help them find safety in these times that are just ahead. And yes, I do believe America is going to play that role. We're watching right now as the Republican Party just adopted the most pro-Israeli platform in the history of American politics. You go read their platform about Israel, and they'll let you know that they're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem, that they're going to recognize Jerusalem as the official capital of the nation of Israel, that we're not going to pressure Israel to give up the settlements and to quit building out in the West Bank. It is the most pro-Israeli platform ever. And I want to say to all of us, please pray for Donald Trump, that he will not have his head turned by the establishment. Now, most of his cabinet appointees so far appear to me to be excellent. They appear to be people who will not be globalists. However, it is possible that he could appoint some people who are very skillful and very knowledgeable that would try to persuade him to move America into more participation with the international community. We need to pray for Donald Trump. Right now, some key positions, such as Secretary of State, he needs to appoint someone there that shares his values of defending American sovereignty and not becoming entangled in the New World Order system. So all of you out there, don't stop praying, because the Bible teaches us that we should pray for our rulers and for all those that are in authority, that we might lead a quiet and peaceable life upon this earth. I'm telling you, America has a destiny. I want us to fulfill that destiny. Wouldn't it be great if the United States of America became the revival center of the world in these end times? I believe that that could happen. I believe we could use the wealth that God has blessed us with. I pray that America's economy will boom like never before. I know a lot of people are predicting that America's economy is going to go bust and we're going to lose everything. I don't see that in the Bible. The Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. They were eating, they were drinking, they were marrying, they were given in marriage until the flood came. And the same thing's going to happen all the way up until the rapture of the church, until the second coming of Jesus Christ. So we can have a lot of theories, but the Bible is our guide. So, well, listen, I've enjoyed being with you today. We're coming to the close of our program, but I'd like to say once again, if you're not yet a partner with End Time Ministries, why not today? It's a wonderful way to start the new year. It'd be a great Christmas gift to me personally. And oh, by the way, this is End Time Ministries' 30th year. And we're celebrating 30 years this year of the beginning of End Time Ministries. So I would love, maybe you'd like to just become a partner for $30 a month to celebrate End Time's 30th year. It would be such a blessing to help us meet our obligations, and we appreciate it so much. Whether you can or not, we still are glad you listened. But if you can, please do it. The number to call to become a partner, 1-800-END-TIME, 1-800-363-8463. God bless you all. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
End of the Age is a production of End Time Ministries. This broadcast will be available on our website, endtime.com, in the archives section. On our website, you'll also find more information about how current events are fulfilling Bible prophecy. To reach our operators, call 1-800-END-TIME. That's 1-800-363-8463. End Time Ministries is partner supported. We would like to say thank you to our partners who made this broadcast possible. To do what Matthew 24:14 said, to reach the world with the gospel of the kingdom.